Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. If you're seeing me for the first time, my name is Joyce Anyanwu. Yes, my people. There is still battle on this Tinubu 2025 budget. Restoration of hope. Is it not so? Okay, people are still dragging some in the Senate. Even in this time that people are hungry, people are buying because they want to go and get free food, it's called stampede. Tinubu and his own cabal, they are busy making budget for refreshment, traveling, while the Nigerians are still buying because of no money to buy food. Even this Christmas period, a lot of homes don't even have money to even buy a rice to even cook. Like something like common, when we were growing up, they would just buy material and they would sew that material for all of us. We used to call it uniform. A lot of family don't even have that money to buy even that uniform for their children this year. The way things are going because of hunger, people have been going to get good food, to get free food from so-called this stampede of a carnival or everywhere, and they are buying. So today in Arise TV, our journalist will be asking question. He will be talking to Mr. Tope, I think is the what is it? Special advisor to the president. Yes, Mr. Ndee is a journalist in Arise TV. So he will be talking. I don't know if you pronounced that name well, Ndee. So he will be asking some question. Tope, special advisor to the president on economics matter. So God, let's just listen and hear what this man have to say. Guys, what did you think? Please drop your own thought in the comment section. Thank you.
Naira earmarked by the presidency for meals, refreshments, and travel, while also asking the National Assembly to bring down its 344.85 billion naira budget. Is a nation back to another cycle of padding, false insertion, or doctoring of the budget document? And as we get set to turn on the searchlight again on the 2025 budget, over time, budget making has always drawn one of the most virulent criticisms and intense suspicions about the sharing of the national cake. Well, let's take a look into some of the eye-popping areas and contentious proportions of the budget. Serap alleges that the presidency has presented 9.6 billion naira for refreshments and travels, while the National Assembly is cornering about 350 billion naira for itself. The hunger stampede over the weekend is still raising so much dust and emotions, with very tragic episodes leaving 67 dead across different parts of the country. The nation's economic advisor to the president, Dr. Tope Fasua, joins us on Prime Time. Tope, glad to have you join me.
Thank you very much.
Well, like I just read a while ago, 9.5 billion for travel and catering for the presidency, 344.85 billion naira for lawmakers at a time Nigerians are perishing because they went in search of food. Serap says it's excessive, it's insensitive.
Well, thank you very much for bringing me on today. These are very interesting times. I think, first of all, to pay condolences to the families of those that have lost their lives. Some of them are children, being in the wrong place at the wrong time in this season. Whereas, of course, there's the political side of it.
I'll get to that. I don't know why.
Opposition politics, they've made people so hungry. But the truth is,
we'll get to that.
Okay.
The statement of the presidency.
You talk about
start with where?
Okay, let's start with the spending, which, remember, when I converted it now, maybe it's about $7 million. Okay, remember that the naira is weaker now. Even if I would start with the National Assembly,
which is a fallout of the present government.
No, which is a strategy, which is working and paying off in many ways as well. But if you look at it, the 340-something billion for the National Assembly, which is not just to be shared among the members of the National Assembly, but that's the entire budget for running the entire operations of the National Assembly, not just money to be shared. The salary is just a segment of it, remember that this used to be around 125, 150 billion in some years back. So two things are happening. Of course, the Naira is weaker. As a matter of strategy, the Naira was floated to remove arbitrage opportunities that people had been, some people had been enjoying. But, the Naira is now looking plenty. But there's also what is called the purchasing power parity, meaning that if you focus on the Naira, you can do a whole lot more. But if you're using that Naira to purchase foreign things, which are denominated in other currencies, then you're going to have a problem because you can't buy as many of those foreign items as you would if you focus on the Naira. So if you look at it today, a lot of people are shopping locally. E-commerce has become a big thing. Most people, whatever it is you're putting on today, you can get it online in Nigeria to be delivered to you. You don't even have to leave your house. So for as long as you can do that, people are becoming more entrepreneurial in producing and providing the things that Nigerians need themselves. And in fact, if you look at it further, look at the Aba area, you see that there's a lot of products moving into Cameroon, into Gabon, into DR Congo, into other places. So I think the economy is being restructured in some fundamental ways, and that's remarkable. So 9.6 billion naira, I'm minding the fact that the presidency is not just the Aso Villa. When you hear presidency, the agencies under the presidency, BPP, BPE, BPSR, dozens of agencies that are under the presidency.
Yeah, but the question,
so except you're saying they shouldn't eat when they shouldn't have a cup of tea. Minding the fact, let me tell you this. I work in that villa. In the villa where we work, there's no canteen. There's no food, anything for anybody. If you work till 4 p.m. from morning, you're on your own. If you don't go outside to look for something to eat, you're going to go hungry. That's the way. In fact, the vice president, whose office where I sit, is the one that provides food for hundreds of people every day from his own personal resources. So it's not like there were people going there to just enjoy. I can tell you this because I've been on your side before. I hosted a program on economics as well in one of the local stations, and now I'm on this other side. I can tell you exactly how it's going.
So you're speaking for the other side?
Yes, I am, actually.
Well, the point here is, whether people are going out because there's no canteen or not, the figures. In fact, somebody said this: desperate crowds and foods of death. That's how some have described the show of shame across the nation. Ibadan, 35 children. Yeah. Anambra, 22. Abuja, 10. At this point,
look at that. Yeah.
The presidency is
No. Well,
for travels.
Again, exactly. Mind you, you're adding travel. Travel is inside. Catering is inside for the few occasions when maybe foreigners come to meet the president and he needs a cup of tea or a cup of coffee and a few biscuits and so on. Look, at the end of the day, we're talking about 365 days of intense activities. At that level, none of us at our level, I'm a special advisor, have any authority to spend any government money in that manner. If you needed your own tea, you get your own tea. If you want to entertain your guests, you take him out. There's no even facility for that. But again, travels have been added. Okay, so this is what I'll say. That this government, from what I've seen, because we came in with no illusions. We didn't have any illusions that there was any money anywhere. The Buhari government had waded through COVID, then there was this ways and means money printing, which wasn't just a Nigerian thing, truth be told, because if you looked at the accounts of the Bank of England and the Fed, you see the spike. In 2020 to 2021, everybody went crazy trying to print money to survive. So we were coming in under no illusions. By the time the government of Bola Tinubu came in, we saw where the bodies were buried. We saw where the deficits were. And the president said, magnanimously, that look, I'm taking on the assets and liabilities that are meant.
Let me take your point.
So we didn't come in on that. So I would probably tell you that we are running one of the most frugal government.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
Okay, let me give you something. I'm a special advisor.
Don't forget
I'm a special
that
advisor.
it is in this government that the president has bought a plane.
A second-hand plane for that matter.
What is second-hand? The cost we're talking about is in this administration that the vice president,
yes,
his house, a house was
built by Wike, he didn't demand for a
and
house.
I'm going to come back to that. But
yes,
let's just continue this discussion.
Yes.
How do you comfort or pacify parents who lost their children in the Ibadan, Abuja, or Kija?
Man.
The dead, somebody said the dead got eating while looking
for let me put it this
what
way.
to eat. Let me just add this to that.
Okay, go ahead.
Then you address two of them because you talked about politicizing. And I'm thinking about that. When the government says stop politicizing the stampedes, doesn't that beg the question of hunger in the land? The apparently very high cost, harsh economic climate Nigerians are contending with. You can't deny that.
Well, we can't deny that, but it's not something that's just started today, including the stampedes for food. I mean, look, as far back as I can remember, I remember the...
When I go to the market, it's got so terrifyingly bad.
You remember that Nigerians would also scoop fuel, very volatile. We had that cocoa incidents way back in the 90s, in the 80s, in the 70s, in the 60s. And it's not just a Nigerian thing. In Congo, there was a gruesome case that was spread around at some point in time that actually happened in Congo. But not only Congo, even I was almost in the middle of the riots in the United Kingdom in 2011 under David Cameron, looting of shops. And so whether you're talking about looting, in fact, it's even worse to be a looter. Nigerians were never looters. The kind of thing we saw in COVID when they started looting shops in COVID, we hadn't seen that kind of looting before. But we saw that it happened in places like the United Kingdom, even the United States. So I think it's a psychology we need to actually try and deal with. But I'm hoping that maybe going forward, we probably will standardize the sharing of some of these things such that you don't need to make it open and make announcements. Look, this is a country of 220 million people.
Somebody was talking about...
so 220 million people, you have to expect that people will show from any which way. But it's not because they are hungry alone. Some are hungry. But let me tell you, there's this mentality and psychology of poverty when it maybe goes on for too long and people begin to lose hope. It's a hope that, so you want to be able to get as much rice into your barn as possible. If you had a number of bags, but you can't get enough. So this is the way we're dealing with this poverty. We haven't actually had that discussion. It's not just about how much money does a Nigerian have to have in his account to believe that they are rich? And minding the fact that, I just land on this, minding the fact that we are very aspirational people. Nigerians are some of the most aspirational people in the world. Every Nigerian wants to be a billionaire. It's there in our music. I want to be a billionaire, So, if you don't get money, hide your face. It's in our music, it's in our movies, it's in our culture, it's in our churches, it's in our religious places. So how do you get out of this? We need the help of sociologists and psychologists and social psychologists to have a honest discussion about what's going on. So it's so sad that little children have had to die in this instance. And the stampede. Look, I'm going to write an article about this, and I will start with the day I almost got trampled. Okay. And it was in National Stadium in Sulere. And I was going for a religious program. And that was the last time I went for any such religious program. Because the moment they opened the gates, everybody came rushing.
We'll come back to that. Because PDP, Obi talked about certain things. But
unfortunately, Obi had made a statement about Ibadan, and then Okija in his own state then happened.
I'll come back.
So to let you know that it's not
it's
now
not
you're talking about
it. Let me take you up on...
And then in Catholic Church in Abuja, it also happened.
Let me take you up on that. The major opposition party, PDP, puts the blame squarely at the foot.
They ran this country for 16 days.
In power.
Under them, a lot of that happened well.
You can't keep...
under the PDP's government, a lot of that happened as well. The government
in power has a responsibility at any time.
Absolutely, and we take that responsibility.
Lives and property, making sure that people are well
Absolutely.
fed.
Being well fed. It doesn't happen anywhere in the world.
Making sure that people are taken care of.
If you see any country where 20% of people are rich, that country is in nirvana. If you see any country The standard for income equality in countries is 10% of people are extremely rich.
So we're not even talking about welfare.
Remember the
psychology.
We're not even talking about I spoke welfare. About the psychology of poverty, that the truth is not, and do you know that, okay, poor people eat more food than the rich. So if you see a rich man today will eat a few vegetables, but the poor person wants to get more because he's thinking, look, what if I don't get this
when there is money in your pocket, for example, if you're fasting.
Exactly.
If you have money in your pocket, you won't even go hungry.
Exactly.
But if you're fasting and you don't have money in your pocket, the moment you start, hunger attacks you. But
exactly. So there's no
but that's by the way.
Governance.
But that's by the way. But that's
just a second.
Let me get in this.
Governance is also governance is not just about finance and all these things we do or works or providing roads. Governance is also about getting into that discussion with the people to say, listen, let's talk about this poverty that we have. At what point, what can we do? Reminding people that, look, remember, we're not going to be able to give you all the food you want in the world.
Now that you've said...
And even those who are rich and who have a little bit of, that's social capital, sharing the little that you have. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of that is going on this December.
Now that you have said governance is about trying to reach the people, the president has often said, the citizens should be patient. And that's why SERAP is bringing this, and that's why we're bringing this up. Yeah. SERAP is also a daggers drawn with the AG, over 26 billion for rehabilitation, almost doubling that of 2024 at the time that the debt service is 50.
Rehabilitation of what?
Of the vice president's quarters, his own quarters, they are rehabilitating.
A lot of those monies never get spent. I think
hold on, let me land. 26 billion. Like I said, this is almost doubling that of 2024. At the time, the debt service is 15.8 trillion, exceeding combined figure for defense, infrastructure, education, and health. This is
I think the problem, the problem is that oftentimes budgets are made. Sometimes the priorities never get to those things. You can't spend 24 billion on rehabilitating maybe vice president or president's house last year and then spend it again this year. So what they do is that when they don't spend it, they roll it over and say, let's see.
This.
Exactly, and it's a provision.
So that's the point.
Whether the provision gets
you have raised an issue.
Is a different
The issue is, why do we keep talking about you have a house? You don't rehabilitate your house every
exactly month, so if you listen to what I'm saying,
yes. So why does this,
if you listen to what I'm saying, the reason why you're seeing that number is because whereas it was provided for in 2024, it was never done, and so you have to roll over. And secondly, when you say
roll over
the numbers, no, you just now remember the fact that the value of the currency is lower. Now, mind you...
And I'm asking you, who brought that about? Two things that caused
and it's
this
good.
question
and I'm giving you the advantage of making that currency weaker, because now we're focusing more on Naira and what Naira can do. We're focusing more on what we can do ourselves. We're focusing more on Nigerian raw materials. Many manufacturing companies have had to now start sourcing local raw materials rather than importing them. A lot of people aren't traveling as many times as they would before. But that's one of the things, especially the middle class. And our middle class were special people. I mean, we assumed that we could travel 5-6 times on business class every year. Your colleague that has jackpot in the US or Canada, dare not try it. Dare not try it. If it could escape once in a year, it will. Maybe once in 2 years. So by the time you can't... look, ask yourself, Ndee, how come Nigeria is the third or fourth country with the highest number of university students in the UK and the US of all the countries in the world? We're rubbing shoulders with China with 1.4 or 1.5 billion people. We're only 200 million people.
Somebody will tell you that.
That means that we're putting so much money...
Somebody will tell you it's a failure of our education system.
Not necessarily. It's just aspiration. It's aspiration.
No, you can aspire.
Look, our education system is not doing too well. But again, even some of the things we assume, and I just pushed out an article today, which I titled, "The 10 Things Nigerians Must Understand About Socioeconomic Development," the fact that we are rubbing shoulders and expecting that our economy and society will be at par with even the people that gave us colonization, who have had maybe 2,000 years of documented history. That means we're being preposterous. We're being preposterous, because we can't, your child cannot try and be you today. He has to learn and grow. And it's also a matter of time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me get you take these two questions at the same time. But then put us.
So it's good. It's good that, you know, part of it, of course, we have, you know, the naira has become weaker, but it has made us focus more. And also, but if you look at the fiscal side, the state, like this, I remember Ekiti. Just
things have become more expensive.
But you know, so there's a challenge now,
and there is a continuous rise in the prices of goods, services, and commodities.
Over time, that gap will bridge. However, what we're saying is that for those who are enterprising, for people who have work, who want to work, Indeed, there's work in this country for those who want to work.
People are working.
Exactly. So who wants to work should keep working. You know why? Because the private sector was not quick to catch up with the income increase. So not a lot of private sector entities were able to, you know, take the income of their staff, you know, to the same quantum as what the government is proposing, maybe double everybody's salary.
Okay, let me
the typical private sector person will be a bit slow in doing that, but he must at the end of the day.
Let me drop
Every private sector person should increase the salary of the staff because, you know, if you are still in business, a lot of people are making good money in this country.
So, Thomas, I'm arguing that it's not about increasing salary, it's about infrastructure. If you have infrastructure...
Okay, I mean, there's all sorts of arguments.
But let me drop this with you. There is also the issue of lack of transparency in the proposed 344.85 billion of the National Assembly. What Serap is saying is that there should be a total breakdown of personal cost, salaries, and allowances. And I want you to put this together with the issue of what the CAM president, Gabriel Oko, the issue he raised alongside Obi, both attribute this stampede and the loss of lives to systematic failures. How do you address or prevent
now we're learning
mayhem?
The reason why there's a government in every country is that problems not the finish. Now Nigeria people they talk, you know, problem not the finish.
There's no way.
So because problems will not finish, because problems will not finish, every country has a government. Now we have come to a point to learn on this issue of stampede. There are many, philanthropists in this country who are doing different things. And, you know, we've had 3 instances where things have gone awry. But perhaps in those 3, there are 3,000 other different people who have given things out, including my humble self, without causing a stampede. You know what I'm saying? So now we want to say, okay, you know what? If you're doing an open event like that, how do you crowd control? What kind of advertisement? So we want, and I think that the presidency, the spokesman to the president has made a statement about that. I think going forward, there's going to be some interministerial collaboration because if you make a loose advertisement and say, you come to this playground and we're going to be giving out bags of rice, or we're going to be giving out money, cash money, my brother.
But what is causing
some people will...
Is it not because of the hunger
some
and the
people,
poverty?
Not necessarily.
If we address the root cause...
wait. Again, I'm telling you...
Instead of cutting off the leaves, cutting off the stems...
Look, I can give you... If you went to the streets of London today, even in the city of London, in Liverpool Street down to Bank and all of those places that we know. Or you went to Wall Street today, in the night today, you can count maybe 1,000, 2,000 people sleeping on the streets.
No, in New York, you have
Therefore, and let's talk of places like Skid Row and so on in Los Angeles. So you would see 10,000 people sleeping on the streets. The kind of problem they have there, that we don't even have it here, people sleeping on the streets like that. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, if they have not been able to eradicate poverty fully, in those countries that have had 1,800 years of experience in governance, documented governance, who are the people that we are following and copying, then I doubt if we would be able to eradicate poverty in Nigeria so quickly. However, what we can do is to manage it. That NAS thing, I probably would want you to bring... I think the best person that would do that would probably be my friends who are the spokesmen for NAS, because NAS probably... But you know what? Every year the NAS has had to defend that budget. But the little I will tell you here is that what I know about the NAS budget is that is also the NAS commission. They have a whole commission of civil servants that work with them, not to talk of those who work with them in the National Assembly directly, you know. And that budget is for everybody, for the salaries of all of those people. We're talking of not just the 500 or 469 people who work, you know, we're talking of the salaries, emoluments and everything, and maintenance for thousands of people. That's what you see there.
Okay, Obi decrying.
But again, let me also say this, that our budget, again, must be said, that our budget is one of the smallest in the world per capita. So when people say, oh, you know, what you need to do is to balance the budget
with the minister, and I said that is working not even good for us because it's considered so weak based on our per capita.
Which is true.
But that's not where I want to go.
The government is also working on that. You see, there's a bit of improvement between last year and this year.
That's not where I want to go because, I mean, we have less than 1 minute or thereabout or 2 minutes. Peter Obi is decrying the arrest because you mentioned that a while ago, so I want to bring it up. Peter Obi is decrying the arrest of Oni's ex-wife, and is urging reforms. He says acts of goodwill should not be criminalized.
Certainly not. I'm not sure with
the implications. You just mentioned it now. What do you think will happen to people like this? I mean, for example, one of the organizers of the Bado incident said, I saw how people were falling on one another as I was rescuing those that fell. More were rushing and stepping on those that were
any stampede. That's the way
I pity that woman. I pity myself. I will never do this again. These are the little implications.
Mind you, luckily, well, maybe luckily for her, it was after this, well, unfortunately for some other people, that the other two, I mean, there's Obi Jackson in Okija. Obi Jackson, that's Nestor, right? The guy has been doing it every year. So again, another factor to look at is perhaps information dissemination has become even is a lot better
Someone
these days.
talked about advertising.
Exactly. So now, maybe a few years ago, if you made that kind of advert, you probably get 500 people. Today, with all the ferocity of social media, you probably get 2,500 people.
Not the ferocity of it. Let's call a spade and not an agricultural instrument.
Okay, tell me about
the policies of government.
Not necessarily.
No, that
not
is
necessarily. The policies of government.
The two policies. The fuel removal and
the policies of government, as also a lot of people are richer. A lot of sectors are doing well. The entertainment sector is doing incredibly well.
Has always been doing well.
No, it's even doing a lot better than before. A lot better than before. You know, the real estate sector, the petroleum sector, the banking sector. The banking sector, these guys are, doing 200% profit year on year. So now the issue is this. The issue now becomes, look, like I said before, the government gets wiser as we go along. So, I mean, look, the banks made that money. Government said, you know what, give us 70% of that money back. And of course, they're still arguing it, I know, but they must deal, And so the monies can be deployed into, what else we want to do for the people. But the government is pro-people. President Tinubu is pro-people, and the people should expect, going forward, there's going to be a lot more good. I mean, the president has declared free trade for everybody till January and so on. You see, it has a generous heart. And there's a lot more coming for the people beyond rice. At some point, we were being accused of, every problem they throw rice at it. I can imagine the amount of rice that people have in their homes.
Sarah also finds it quite odd, unfair, and unjust that the federal government and the lawmakers are spending so much money on themselves in a time of
I don't know about spending money on
borrowing quagmire. I mean, the travels,
Let me tell you, I have made two travels in
borrowing quagmire.
I have made two travels in my time as a special advice. First one to attend a course, a 5-day course. That's one funded by government. The second one, the Chinese company sent us a ticket, and it was an economy ticket, and we used it because it was business, and it didn't cost Nigeria anything. As I'm sitting with you as a special advisor, I have no official car. That's it. I've been using my car for almost 18 months now. So I'm telling you that the government is frugal.
I accepted to do that.
I accepted to do that because we're all here to make sacrifices for Nigeria.
Now you have raised another issue. I talked earlier about the fact that a house was built for the vice president. And the president...
It was just Wike completing a house that had been sitting down for too long.
Bought a plane at a time.
He bought a second-hand plane.
So because we didn't come, Nigerians, be patient.
We didn't come with illusion. That's why we bought a second-hand plane for the president.
For merriment and travels...
It has cut down. If you look at the dollar value between last year and this year, or even... You know what? I'll do you an analysis.
Is intending to
I'll do you an analysis. You see that number has been going down like this in dollars.
Help us in this country Hello, my beautiful people. Welcome back to this wonderful analysis of today with Channel TV. Nate, interview or chatting with Mr. Tope, the special advisor on economic to the special advisor to our president. The special advisor to our president on matters of economic. Yes. So, economics matter. I don't know the one to say again. I'm confused, my beautiful people. Please pardon me. I don't know. The problem is that why is it that these people, they always like to interview people that are working with Tinubu? First of all, for me, I'm like, you cannot come now and call me from my company that you want to interview me. Then I will do everything possible, to support my company, or I will not stand against them. Whatever that has been happening there, that is why you see, I don't know if it's happening in Nigeria. That is why you see, like in advanced country, when you get a job in any company, in that contract, one of the law in the contract that you are going to write is that everything that happened in this company remains here. Everything that happened in this company or this organization remains here. That is the first policies. That is the first warning that they will give to you before you even sign that contract. Yes. So you cannot expect me to come out or maybe in interview and start, blabbing or start blaspheming my company already, that I know the risks that I would take. Because when I do that, remember, I sign that everything that happened in that company remains in that company. Whatever I see in that company, whatever that happened in that company, especially if it is negative things, remains in that company. And they will warn you, there is nothing like phones, especially phones with camera, your private phones. You only use, if you have any problem, you use the company's phone to call. Yes. So I don't know. I don't really understand why they always invite Tinubu workers. What are they expecting, or what are we expecting? For them to come and be clapping for Tinubu, say, oh, what he's doing is wrong? Or are they to come to tell Tinubu that, to tell the world that Tinubu is not doing anything right, or Tinubu is not working? They would try to defend their own principle. They would try to defend their master in any case, because they know that their own job is at risk if they come to talk whatever that is negative. So I don't know, this interview that they are calling Tinubu people to interview, me, I don't buy these ideas. If you want to really interview people that are not working under Tinubu, people that are doing their own thing, they are masters of themselves. They are self-employed. Tinubu or no Tinubu, they will still eat. If you want to invite people to come and talk about Nigerian economics, invite people from Alaba Market or Alaba International. Invite people from Main Market. Invite people from all these market women that are suffering, that are lamenting. Invite them. They will come and tell you how they are feeling, exactly what they are feeling. Not somebody that is sitting beside Tinubu or sitting in the right hand of Tinubu, then you want him to come and talk against Tinubu. Nah, people should just forget about all this interview, because I don't really understand. Can you imagine this man coming here to tell us that there is work in Nigeria? I beg my people that if you want to work, there is work, and you will work in Nigeria. My beautiful people, please, I don't know which work is in Nigeria. Does it mean, or is it work of POS? or is it work of driving Okada, or is it work of driving keke? A first class graduate will end up driving keke, driving motorbike, bike to be carrying people. Is that the job that is in Nigeria, that this year man is sitting down here opening his mouth and telling us rubbish? You know, today this man is telling us that when this Ndee is asking him that upon all the economy, things are so hard, but the people are building house for vice president. What happened to the former house that vice president was living? This man is telling us that it's wicked that build the house. Okay, let's even assume that it's wicked that build the house. Does it mean that it's wicked that put hand in his pocket and collect his money and build that house for vice president? Okay, say he just completed the house. So does it mean that money is not Nigerian money? I beg my people, please, just drop your own opinion in the because I don't understand. Maybe I don't know all these things. I want to know. Drop your opinion in the comment section, because I am so pissed off right now on what this man has been blabbing. If you don't know what to say, why can't you keep quiet? You know? Okay, Mr. Ndee is asking him that the things are so hard. There is no food. People are dying. People are buying. Your president is buying a private flight or private plane. He said it's a second hand. Does it mean that second hand, they did not buy it with money? Did they buy it with papers? Even though it's second hand, even though it's new hand, even though it's third hand, it's still Nigerian money they used to buy that flight. Sorry, my people, I'm so pissed off right now. You know, I'm so pissed off right now that I don't really even know what to say. All these things that this man has been opening his mouth, I'm so angry right now. I don't even know why people cannot just call a spade a spade. I don't know why people cannot just say, oh, this thing that you did is not good, let's change it. You know. And this man, the journalist in Arise is asking him that, is it every day they renovate is it every day they renovate president villa? He's telling us that no, it's not every day. They did not do it 2024. So they are carrying it over. Okay, what is the money? That money, because before they start making a budget, they have already looked into the percent, how much is going to make that budget, and they have already written it down, and they have already make a provision for that money. Okay, since the money they did not use it 2024, then they are carrying it over to 2025. So where is the money? Since the renovation they did not do it, so where is the money? Hey, in the system where because of hunger people are buying because they want to go and collect free food. Now that they are blaming the people that they did not organize, it's poor organization, they did not organize it well, that is why, that is that. They are blaming people that came out to say, oh please, so let's just give these people food so that they will see something to eat. Unfortunately, that when there's things like this happen, now they are blaming them, and them themselves, they are bringing out 3.4 for president, 3.4 something million for president, you know, for refreshment, for travel. Hey, Jehovah, have mercy upon us, oh, have mercy upon us, oh. 9.6 million for to travel and to do what? The Senate, the House of Rep, they are sharing them 9 point. How much is it set, my people? Are there before I come and quote figure that I don't know. But what I know, there is amount for president maintenance of the villa, refreshment. Part. There is amount for House of Rep, for traveling allowances, for this, for that. So, what about we ordinary citizens of Nigeria? What about we, the now that you see Nigeria? Oh, country. So, if people that we put in that position to govern us, they are making, they are doing budget of refreshment, they are doing budget of to travel, they are doing budget for maintenance. So we, the ordinary Nigerians, that we put them in that position. So where is our own budget? What are they planning for us? Where is our own refreshment money? Where is our own traveling allowances? My beautiful people, you see Nigeria, that country, because where I am living, government, they first of all think of the citizen first. During that COVID-19, let me just bring something here. During that COVID-19, when they came to Nigeria to give injection, it was Buhari that was the first person to take that vaccine. Yes. But where I am living, when the vaccine came, it didn't come in large quantity. They were just trying to see, just bringing it to the important people. The first, even our German chancellor, that's Angela, then it was Angela Merkel. No, he did not even near that place, because he knows that people that are on risk, people that are working in the hospital, people that are working in in supermarket, people that are working in, those people that they must be there for people to survive. Is those people they order first. After that, those people, now the second batch of people was old people. After the nurses, the doctor, those healthcare people that are they are very, very in front of contacting that disease. Those are the first people they gave that injection. I think Angela Merkel was even the last batch. It was even the last batch of taking that injection. You know why I brought this matter? Because a government think first of their citizens before them themselves, because they know that they are the leaders and they are in front to work. We put them there to work for us, so they have to satisfy us first. They don't need to satisfy. They listen to what the masses. They listen to what the masses say. That is what they will work on. That is why you see in this country, immediately the people like organization or workers or anything carry any placard that we are not working, we need this. Immediately the government will attend to that problem before any other thing. It will attend to that problem. Only in Nigeria I see that when people carry placard, they will arrest them, they will buy them, they will do all kind of things because they to close their mouth. And this man is sitting down here telling us that Nigeria is one of the best country. Nigeria, we are rubbing shoulder with China. Nigeria, why is it that in the whole world, any place you go, it's Nigeria that is most educated? Is this government that has been training them? Those Nigerians that are educated, you know the way their parents suffered. Some of them, they sell their lands. Some of them, because Nigeria, we love education. Some of them, how much has government contribute to help Nigeria? If not this year now that Tinubu say he has given student loan. The student loan now, I don't know where it is. I don't know how many people have benefit from that student loan. I don't know. Okay. In this country, this is a country that if you don't have money to go to school, they will sponsor you. Your own is just for you to apply. They will sponsor you until you finish that school. When you finish that school, there is job waiting for you. There is job in this country. There is job waiting for you. So far, you just have that certificate. For example, let me just even bring something here. Yesterday, my husband is working normal 8 hours, but he want to do a part-time job, to meet up. We just went to 2 places. In that 2 places, they did not refuse that there is no job. They just told my husband, go and write application. We are looking for people. In Nigeria, can that happen? Also go and write your application and submit. We are looking for people, no problem. They only ask him, did you have a certificate? My husband said, yes, I have a certificate. Finito. That is the end. That is what they want. But Nigeria, if our country is good, you think people will be jackbarring to go to look for greener pastures, to go and look for jobs elsewhere? They will not go. They will stay in their country. There is no place like home. There is no place like home. Anyway, my people, I don't even know what this man is talking about. I don't know. Tinubu has made his own speech, talking long grammar, subsidy. If subsidy, he's not regretting of removing subsidy. He's not doing this, he's not doing that. He's not regretting of floating naira. Things will be better. Every day Tinubu will say things will be better. His followers, they are saying things will be better. They are supporting him. Anyway, my people, I don't have what to say. Drop your own thought in the comment section. What did you think about what this man just blabbed? Please drop your own thought. Let's communicate. Let's talk in the comment section. If you have watched to this time, thank you very much. For those that always come back to watch my video, I really appreciate every one of you. Thank you very much, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye for now.